Okay, guys, so I want to kind of expand on the role of a designated marksman. So now this is, like post Civil War, revolution, or whatever, hypothetical situations in the United States. So the role for any kind of designated DMR rifle setup and the person is to possibly collect intelligence, positively identify potential threats, or see a threat coming from further distance than, greater than 400, 500, 600 yards. With modern ARs, even 16-inch barrels and 18, 20-inch barrels with a variable optic, 1 to 8, or, just anything like that, you can, you have the ability to pin down a potential threat or a potential threat movement, enemy movement towards your location. Now introduce like FRTs and the belt-fed ARs and stuff now. You can reach out and really pin a potential threat down, or just enemy movement, pin them down to a point where if you have a small group, your family, or an element defensive position, you can either defend that position at greater distances or, shoot and kind of move, break down your LP or OP or something like that, and have, greater chances of getting away if you're spotted or something like that. Now, bolt guns, 308s, you can, modern ammunition, new optics always coming out every year, just especially with 308, because 600-800 yards is kind of the max, give or take. Now there's always kinds of people out there that 1,000 or 1,200 yards for a 308 is nothing, which I understand, but ballistically, the 308 is its greatest potential is probably between 600 and 800 yards. We'll just say that. Now you introduced 6.5 Creedmoor, 300 Win Mag, 30-06, Magnum calibers, 300 PRC, 6.5 PRC, where 12, 1,500 meters is nothing to them. Now, let's kind of dial it back a little bit. The role of having, or the importance of having, some kind of magnified optic coupled with a long distance firearm, or long distance capable firearm, is so you can see a potential threat coming at further distances away. Now hypothetically, if you're doing this, you have a defensive perimeter or something, or you're just trying to get intelligence on some kind of movement or potential enemy or something like that, using magnified optics, especially something with 16 to 24 power, you can definitely, binos and stuff they're not comparable. So if you can get some kind of magnified optic that has, crazy magnification, the ability to identify potential uniforms, or what kind of vests they're wearing, what kind of patches, if a patch looks similar to something else, what kind of firearms they're carrying, what kind of vehicles they're driving. That is one of the most important things, because determining whether it's a friendly or foe is very important, especially at distance. Now, some of the important things to having some kind of a DMR setup. Now, real quick, the designated marksman position is kind of that in-between infantry guy to sniper. It is more of an intelligence gathering position, and you can potentially take an enemy out at further distances, given you positive IDs and all that stuff. Now, some of the importance to having, like equipment and stuff wise, rangefinder. If you can, I know they have a lot of really nice rangefinders for not a lot. You can get ones that will lays distances very accurately out to like 1,500 yards and stuff, and those are very, those are $200-300. I've had one for 5 or 10 years, probably less than 10 years, and that's a $1,000 or 1,000-yard rangefinder, which is pretty darn good for. I think I spent $200 on it. Maybe it is a Vortex rangefinder. I believe it's out to 1,000 yards. Anyway, Right in the Rain notepad with a Right in the Rain pen, with a like a notebook that like a small folder, a weatherproof folder that you could keep all that stuff in, so you can use your magnified optics to gather intel, do your own sit rep and stuff like that. Write everything down, how many vehicles are going through a certain intersection at one point, making range cards, dope cards, and all that stuff. Now, sit rep, situation report. Also, the salute report, size, activity, location, all that stuff. There's all kinds of things that you could do with the information you can gather from having these magnified optics. Now that, on top of that, having a good set of binoculars, if you have kind of a lower powered variable optic or something like that, 1-8 or a 1-6, having a good set of like 10 power binoculars on hand will absolutely help. Now, if you have bolt action rifles or something like that, where you can have from 6 to like 24 power magnification on those, you can, if you're looking through an optic all day for any given period of time, you're going to start getting eye fatigue. So that's where binoculars can come in handy. So you can use the binoculars to kind of scout the terrain, and once there's any kind of movement or potential enemy movement, then you go to your magnified optic, where you can really bear down on the magnification and start doing your salute reports and stuff and gathering intel. Now, spotting scopes are one of the best things. If you have a spotter or somebody that doesn't have, they might have just a regular rifle with a red dot or some kind of holographic or something, even if they have some kind of a low powered variable optic, a spotting scope is very handy, especially since now those are getting pricey. But especially now where they're more compact and they're not as long and they don't look like really crazy. The old school spotting scope where they're like 2 feet long and stuff, and they have rangefinders built in. I mean, you can't beat that stuff. So it's more of an intelligence apparatus for your family squad or your revolutionary unit or whatever, or if you're just trying to keep the couple of acres around your place safe and keep it monitored. That is really the DMR role for any kind of grid down or basic war or any kind of conflict. You have a magnified optic where you can see clearer at further distances than just the regular line unit, and that might just have red dots or a 4-power ACOG or something like that. So with all that, I will like in the last video, I'll put together a video of what my current DMR type setup is, and it is, since I've never really messed with them, this is all kind of new to me. I want to, especially for bolt action rifles, it's kind of a hard kind of setup. If you would rather kind of like a jungle setup or like a load bearing equipment, having the ability to have extra like mags on your waist and stuff, so a chest rig's not really, so you could get flat if you're in a prone position with like a bolt action rifle and stuff like that. So been trying a couple different things, so I'll put that together and hopefully get some more stuff out. So thanks for watching, take care, bye.